Right, everybody, welcome to the over 28's then here for the round 8 of Bahrain, and hopefully what a night it will be here today. 17 drivers joining us on the grid, and from what I can see, a few new drivers as well since the last time I did comms here. But 60 minutes of qualifying then on the clock. In the chat, Mr. Yala Boy, it's good to see you, mate. And with 60 minutes of qualifying, a few drivers out on out laps already. And hopefully we can see some quick laps being put in pretty soon. But my throat is bad. I've got the worst cough, so I've got a cough sweet in right now, which is hopefully going to try and calm the throat a little bit. But for now, we will see what times are going to get punched in now. Gunners, first driver to start a flying lap then in qualifying here today. Number 28, Aston Martin. Flying down into turn 1 then. Pushing the Haas off the track there. Don't know what happened there, but the Haas going right off the escape road and back onto the track now. And we see Gunners carry on down towards the end of the first sector then. Y'all says, this sounds crazy, but I commentated on Turbo Snare's son yesterday. That is mad, to be fair. It really is. What league did you race in? And what league did you do the commentary on? Because we do have Turbo Snare here today, but obviously the older one, GSR. I don't think I've heard of it, mate, to be fair. But fair enough. That sounds really good. And obviously, Turbo Snare Jr. will be nice to see him in the chat today. Not seen him around for quite a while, to be fair, but. Back to qualifying then. Quickest in first and second sector then for Gunners. He's the first man to put a time on the board here today. And now heading down towards the final few corners here in Bahrain. There is 14 minutes of qualifying, and here comes Gunners, who in the Aston Martin will go across the line. And for the first time of the weekend, it will be a 1 minute 29.7 1 minute 29.970, my bad. And then next across the line there is a Haas. I think a Haas on a lap, maybe? Is that Dark even? Yep, not on the lap. There's is that Gazelle? No, nothing like Gazelle. Never mind. Turbo Snell, as we're speaking of him. It's 1 minute 29.729, taking provisional pole then here in quali. McLaren across the line of Chris then to 1 at 32.8. Then Peninsula to P5 and James to slot in P3. With that qualifying time, but still 13 minutes of qualifying left, so a lot that these drivers have still got to give in this quali session here today. So 13 minutes of racing action still, and then obviously the Grand Prix after that. Hopefully it is a good one here today with 17 drivers on the grid and a few new names in the hat as well. There is Schultz on a lap, and also there is an Aston Martin towards the line. It is Mr. Mezzanator then in P15, and now towards the line and over it. It is the AlphaTauri to put in a provisional pole then, 1 minute 29.580, and to the top of the timing boards here in qualifying, replacing Turbo Snail, who was previously at the top just moments ago. But now it is Gazelle Roadkill up towards the line. It is a 1 minute 30 flat then to take P4 here in quali, and down towards Charles now. We saw him on a lap earlier on. He's going to cross the line pretty soon, nearly the end of sector 2. Jeffinor just starting his lap, and also Dark, who we saw starting his lap earlier on, now heads towards the line, and it will be a 1 minute 29.9 and slots himself in third position then for qualifying. That is not bad at all. And Alpine going to slow down the straight into the pit lane, I believe. But there is a Mercedes, if I can find them, of Peninsula to go over the line. And it is only enough for P8 then on qualifying times at the moment. And down back to Charles, who now finally just about to cross the line. Not going to be a really quick one. It's a 1 minute 30 flat, but it does get in P5. That is not bad at all, to be fair. And P5 just past his teammate who's in P7 then. 1 minute 30.2, which is 2/10 quicker than Schultz's time just there. The only other driver on the lap at the moment that is down and no time is Mr. Jeffinor, who is now on the back straight and heading down towards the end of Sector 2 pretty soon. "11 minutes of qualifying left then." And as we watch Mezzanator, that's his teammate. As we see Jeffinor, head down now. His teammate is on provisional pole. So no pressure. But as he heads around the 2 final corners here in Bahrain, it is Jeffinor then to head towards the line and take P10 then. It's P1 and P10 for AlphaTauri so far. And it's a 1 minute 31 flat for the Jeffinor. There is a Mercedes going to slow down the back straight, invalidated on that lap around. There is also Dan coming down the back straight on an out lap at the moment. Peninsula out of qualifying then. Maybe was that in the pit lane or was that out of the pit lane? I'm not too sure. Kevin's in the pit lane. It was Peninsula out on track there, and not in qualifying anymore. There is 16 that remain then for qualifying, and there is 5 drivers with no times on the board at the moment. Ash Barker being one of them is coming around the final corner now to put his first time of the weekend on the board. It will be a 1 minute 29.3 to take provisional pole then here in Bahrain, taking it away from Mezzanator, who took it away from Turbo Snail. Wow. Mr. Ash Barker, who did commentary with me yesterday, actually, on the GFR League, is now taking provisional pole so far in qualifying here in Bahrain. It is K1 who is heading down now towards the final few corners, who went quicker and quickest in the middle sector of this racing track. K1 Anubis then. So 1 minute 32.8. Dan now towards turn 1 on his flying lap and just starting that one. One of 3 drivers now with no times on the board here in qualifying. Ash Barker obviously just put himself at the top of the board. Mezzanator second, who's on the out lap, and Gunners also nearly 2 tenths up on this lap around. He was the first driver to put a time on the board earlier on, and now he will be the one to do it again pretty soon as he heads now towards the right-hander, which will take him over the second sector finishing line, and it will be for the second sector a nearly half a second improvement. Oh my god. Gunners 27 then, heading down the back straight in the Aston Martin. This is looking like a quick lap. It's 1 minute 29.9 for his time so far, and he has been able to find about 7 tenths throughout this lap. Now Gunners over the line. It is a 1 minute 29.4, just slotting behind Ash Barker then on times there, and it's a P2 for Gunners on that lap around. Lovely stuff. Dan into the pit lane, so no time on the board for him just yet. Corrigan invalidated on his outlap and now heading around to start his flying. Kieran also on the outlap and no time on the board for him at the moment, but obviously going around now to start the flying lap, and we'll see what he can do as he goes through that lap. It is Chris that improved by a second and 3/10 on that lap there. Corey on a lap as well. Gazelle on a flying lap now to the left hand side and over the not over anything actually, never mind, he's going very slowly and not a lap for him at the moment. Turbo Snail, who is on a lap. Mesonator not even facing the right way on the track at the moment, and hopefully he can get himself back on pretty soon now, picking the right time to come back onto the track and not taking anybody out. And Gunners, who is now up towards the pit lane actually and going in there quite nicely. Corrigan over the second sector. It is not going to be a quick lap for him today. On times, it is not a good first lap, I'm not going to lie to you, as he heads around the final few corners now, and definitely not great on this one for Corrigan and into the pit lane. Never mind, he's got no wing, that's why he's not having a good lap, my bad. Kieran over the line. His first time on the weekend is last and dead last. 1 minute 34.6. 2 seconds slower than the rest of the pack just there. And 5 minutes of qualifying left on the clock. Schultz is down on time. Roadkill is is he on a lap? Yes, he is on a lap. Roadkill's on a lap. James Stewart in the pit lane. Corey Clover on a flying lap as well. The only lap we've got really that is close to the end is Mr. Gazelle. Roadkill then on this one right here. So 1 minute 30 flat then on his time so far. Let's see how the rest of this lap goes, shall we? Oh my god! The biggest commentator's curse I have ever done. Right into the barriers then for Gazelle. And that is the end of qualifying for the Williams of Gazelle Roadkill. It was P7. And right out just there. That is a massive curse. Somebody must clip that. Now, 4 minutes of qualifying left on the clock, and Dan is on an outlap. It is Spexy on an outlap as well. Kieran on the flying lap, and now heading up towards the first sector line. The rest of the drivers pretty much in the pit lane, apart from Turbo Snail, who is out on track at the moment. Right then, 2 minutes and 50 left then of qualifying. And your fastest man at the moment is Mr. Ash Barker at the top of the timing boards from Gunners, from Mesonator, from Turbo Snail then at the moment. And the fight is ready with the Williams at the top there. And Aston Martin, I mean, AlphaTauri would have been looking strong, but they've kind of dropped back a bit from earlier on. But that's really it. Kieran into the pit lane. It is Turbo Snail over the line, and P4 for him still at the moment. Dan now heading round now towards the end of Sector 2 here in Bahrain, and we'll see what kind of Sector 2 this will turn out to be. It will be quickest in the second sector. Dan has no time on the board then here in qualifying, and now down towards the final few turns here in Bahrain. It is the Ferrari, whose teammate is actually P10, 1 minute 30.2 at the moment. He heads around the final corner, and it is foot to the floor then with that DRS flap wide open at the back. And over the line, it is provisional pole, 0.3 quicker than Ash Barker. And Dan, who hasn't set a time today, sets the quickest lap of the weekend then to the top of the timing boards. And he is quickest out of the lot. Spexy on a flying lap as well. That was a lovely time then coming out of nowhere. It's a 1 minute 29 flat then here in Bahrain. Chris on a lap as well, maybe. Corey improving by 3.5 tenths then on that lap just there. And Dark starting a lap now. Turbo Snail down. And that will leave us with 1 minute of qualifying left. Spexy over the line. It will be a 1 minute 30.4 and 12th place for him on that lap around there. Corrigan, who just starts his flying lap now and just makes it over the line in time with about 40 seconds left of racing and of qualifying here today. Dan is heading round down towards the end of That's completely my bad. Just accidentally kicked my controller cable out. Let's see what we're looking at then. End of qualifying. Nearing now. And Ash Barker just starting his lap. And towards the end of the first sector, he wants to take that provisional pole back again. He needs that pole position. And it's 0.2 quicker, which is allowing him quickest in the first sector. Qualifying complete. Dan finished in provisional pole so far. Gunners finished third then. It is Corey 5th. Dark 6th, Turbo Snail 7th. But don't take any of it as that's the finishing order, because that is not. Still have the end of qualifying to endure, and it is Dan at the top, but Mr. Ash Barker on a lap, and this is it for the end of qualifying. Ash Barker over the end of the second sector time. Over the end of the second sector, my bad, and over the line, it is half a second quicker in the first sector, second sector even, for Ash Barker, as he now heads down towards the end of this lap. And Ash Barker in the Williams was on provisional pole earlier on, and he wants to take it away then once again here in qualifying. This is his only chance then here in Bahrain, and over the line he goes to provisional pole once again by 0.3 of a second. It's a 0.6 improvement, and Ash Barker is on provisional pole then for the Grand Prix. Can Mezzanator do anything about it? Mezzanator is up on time and improving by about 1/10, but Ash Barker is already into the 1 minute 28, and it is looking very strong for Ash still. Mezzanator to P3, and at the end of that one, Ash Barker is on pole position here in Bahrain. Finish results then for the qualifying here in Bahrain. It's Ash Barker quickest then from Dan in second. Mezzanator third, Gunners fourth. It is Charles taking fifth then from Corey Clover in sixth. Dark 7, Turbo Snail taking 8, Braun 9, and Corrigan to round off the top 10. Grand Prix, everybody, is up next.
I got good loving for you, and I got nothing to prove. Give me permission to lose my head. Maybe the things I could do, yeah, you will learn something new. If only I could be who I am.
when you're moving in. When you come to the club and you're tuning in. Hold tight to your man, cause I'm moving in. 4x4 with you cruising in. Boy, you got me feeling good. Won't you come on, baby? Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. Step by step when you're moving in. When you come to the club and you're tuning in. Hold tight to your man, cause I'm moving in. 4x4 with you cruising in. Boy, you got me feeling good. Won't you come on, baby? Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. I blame you for all the hurt and all the pain, all the sunshine and the rain. This feeling that I know you're giving me, no lies, you're loving me, hugging me, touching me. Da, 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 da. You're giving me, you're giving me. Da, 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 da. You're giving me, you're giving me. Step by step when you're moving in. When you come to the club and you're tuning in. Hold tight to your man, cause I'm moving in. 4x4 with you cruising in. Boy, you got me feeling good. Won't you come on, baby? Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. You know I want you, baby. Boy, you got me feeling good. You know I want you, baby.
Acting real nice. If you see us on the floor, you'll be watching all night. We ain't here to hurt nobody. So give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Wanna see you work your body. So give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
When Timbo is in the party, everybody put up their hands. I get a half a mil for my beat, you get a couple grand. Never gon' see the day that I ain't got the upper hand. I'm respected from California.
Right then, hello, hello, hello. It is the Bahrain Grand Prix, and today we have the sprint race to start it off. It was me and Ash Barker doing commentary last night for GFR, and we were just talking about how much, because obviously he does the driving, I do the commentating. How much from a commentator's perspective I like the formation lap, and how much from a driver's perspective he likes the formation lap. I like it because I have the race screen on at the start, and when it's no formation lap, there's a lot of times where I've missed the race start, completely missed it, and that's the best part as well. So it's good that we've got a formation lap here today, because it means that you guys get a race start, and I don't accidentally go and miss it. But 29 laps then of racing ahead of us here in Bahrain, and hopefully, just hopefully, it'll be a good one to watch here tonight. I'm sure it will be. I've said it in a lot of streams I've done recently, but if I go silent for a little while, it's because I'm probably having a sneezing or coughing attack, because normally when I'm speaking, my voice is alright, but doing the actual commentary, it kind of wears it out of it. So I'll do my very best for you for the over 28s here for round 8 in Bahrain. And to lead them away after taking provisional pole once again was Ash Barker. Then will be Ash Barker, and it will be Dan to lead him in. To lead in second, with Mezzanator then in third, and joining him on the second row is Gunners in fourth, then Charles fifth, Corey sixth, Dark 7, Turbo 8. It is Braun then comes in 9. And ladies and gentlemen then, it is the 8th round of the over 28s for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We wait for the last few drivers to line up at the back of K1 and one of the Alpines there, Thomas Snail. There is 29 laps ahead of us then. Here in Bahrain, we are waiting still for drivers to line up, and finally, now, the first lap out of 29 then. We are getting ready to go racing then here in Bahrain for the over 28s. It is round 8. Ash Barker to lead them away. It is lights out. And away we go. Ash Barker with a lovely, lovely start off the line already. Ahead of the drivers behind him. Mezzanator is going to try and challenge. Trying to get on the outside even into turn 1. Can he try and stick it out? If he can, that is very impressive. But no, he goes off wide. And Ash Barker with a lovely, lovely exit. It's 3 abreast through there. The Ferrari goes round also. The Alfa Romeo as well, and it's carnage at the back, but they continue on. Ash Barker is still leading them, 1.2 seconds the gap between him and second place. Mezzanator in second, then Gunners in third, Turbo Snell making a position to take fourth. It is Braun in fifth, then Jeffinault sixth, but down below K1 making up to P9. Yellow flags are out, and it's side by side then with the Red Bull up ahead as well of whereabouts is it? Is K1 and the other Red Bull down? Never mind, no idea where he is. Of Braun even. And now Dark in P15, also Kieran. Oh, Kieran really, really iffy on the exit there, managing to save it out of that corner. And on lap 1 out of 29 even, it is Ash Barker leading by 1.4 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Now, but as well, it is Corey and Dark. Dark dropping back to P17, and behind that as well, Chris trying to make a move on Dark, but nothing coming out of it just there. On the first lap out of 29 is now Ash Barker leads them around the final corner to start the second lap of this weekend. Braun and Jeffinault going side by side. Then it is Braun down the inside then, taking that position from Jeffinault. Can he try and fight back? Jeffinault side by side then, going down into the next few corners here. And also in the background, Corrigan with a lovely slipstream going through. He's also got the Red Bull on the outside. Now he's going to try and thread the needle down the inside. But Corrigan has to stay back. And Jeffinault comes out ahead of that battle there. But Braun is getting a bit iffy then, trying to go and overtake that car there. But Corrigan with this switch underneath there, but it's nothing to get through, and he stays back to P7 at the moment. But we do see Corrigan. He's got that fighting lion inside of him, and he wants to get that overtake done and dusted pretty soon. We've got 27 laps ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, and 18 drivers joining us still here. Corrigan got a shocking exit out of that corner. And chasing Kieran is Corey Clover. Trying his very best not to make any contact, but he wants to make a good clean move as well, trying to go through past Kieran, who's also got his teammate just ahead of him. Ash Barker quickest then on the third lap out of 29, and Corey has got Kieran to accompany him up ahead, and Kieran with a not as good exit of Corey out of that corner. And we see Corey now, the Ferrari with the overspeed, going down the inside then, down the main straight. It is side by side with these two down into turn 1, and Kieran with a better exit out of the corner now. with trying to switch back underneath then, going down the inside. Back, here we go again. He stays back on that lap around. An overtake gets done for now, but we know Corey, my voice, sorry, is trying to get through past Kieran, and he might just well do pretty soon. Lash the man leading by 1.8 seconds then from Mezzanator in second place at the moment. Gunn is in third then, Turbosnell fourth. Jeffinort in fifth then with Braun in sixth. And there comes Corrigan trying to get through in seventh position then here today. But we do go around now to start nearly, very nearly now the fourth lap out of 29. And this is going quite quick already. These laps dropping like flies because the racing so far is absolutely brilliant. K1 and Corrigan then. It is K1 behind Corrigan. Sorry, Corrigan in front of... oh my god, can't get my words right. It is Corrigan behind K1. Nearly putting himself in the barriers there. And he saves it in that K1 on the backside of his teammate. But Braun has got the DRS, which means he's not going to find it easy to get past him. And Gazelle also with a 3-second time penalty at the same time as that. Braun has got Jeff in order ahead of him to try and keep him company. We'll see if we can get an overtake between them pretty soon. But on the fourth lap out of 29, we've still got some good battles forming then here in Bahrain. And Ashbarker now leading by 1.8 seconds and already finding a bit of time from Mezzanator behind, who is trying to catch up. And to be fair, he is gaining a little bit now and then, but it's not enough to stay ahead and get as close as he wants to. But still more battles forming behind. Now Corrigan on K1. Down the main straight we go. K1 with the slipstream. Got the DRS as well. It's going to help him stay ahead of Corrigan for now, but maybe not for too long because we see Corrigan is very quick and driving down the inside. Where did that come from? Corrigan, the Aston Martin, even trying to get through past the Red Bull. But on that lap around, he has to stay back. He did not want to stay back, though, and you can tell that by the big, reckless move that he just made there. That was absolutely lovely, though, to be fair. And, do love moves like that, to be fair. Side by side with Jeffinor and Braun as well now. Braun on the inside line. Jeffinor trying to hang it out. He'll take the inside line through there and just shut the door on him as Braun has to stay back and take P7 now as K1 goes through. Braun trying to go on the inside here and try and stay on the track pretty much and not get taken out by Corrigan, who is putting his back tyres out there. And he's going to go down the inside again, maybe? No, he doesn't. He stays back. Oh, Turbo Snow Jr. back in the chat. I have not seen you for a good while, mate. It's good to see you. Spears in the chat as well, I believe. It is good to see you as well, mate, if you're there. I return again. Yes, you do. Welcome back. We could pure chaos on my own league, Ray said. Oh, you have to tell me about it, mate. What's been going on? Oh, look at a move forming here then. K1, Jeffinort, Corrigan, Braun, all of them then trying to go and have a battle at the moment. Corrigan getting through past Braun. Braun dropping down to P8 then. At the moment, Schultz with a 3-second time penalty. And up ahead, the battle's still going on. This is lovely. On the 6th lap out of 29 here. Bahrain, oh my god, around the outside, Corrigan. Looking at the move then on Braun and everybody else. Jeffinort as well, but it didn't come out for him. And Corrigan dropping back. He's also got you got Sexy then down in P9. Gunners and Mezzanator then, P2 and P3, and now with a shocking exit out of that corner. Flying past him, it's Turbo Snail, his son in the chat, and he gets through to take P3 so far in the Grand Prix. Absolutely not an obstacle then for Mr. Turbo Snail. Into the pit lane goes Mezzanator on the 7th lap out of 29. But this battle behind still continues on, and it is a lovely battle to watch at the moment. Braun on the backside of Jeffinor. Maybe we'll see an overtake between these two pretty soon. Now Jeffinor iffy on the exit then out of there. And now onto the back straight. Big crash, and my controller just died as soon, not died, so I pulled the cable out as soon as there was a massive shunt. How could I miss that? How could I miss that? And it is Mr. James Stewart out of the Grand Prix, and safety car has been deployed, everybody. Let Dad cook now, W. Let's see what he can do then, as he is in the pit lane. Everybody going into the pits. And out of the pit lane, it is Turbo Snail that decides to go on the medium compound tyres coming out of the pit lane here today. Maybe he's going medium soft. That's what I thought, mate. Maybe we'll have to see what'll happen. So, safety car still deployed then in the Grand Prix so far. And it is now officially lap 9 out of 29, which means it is 20 laps to go in this Grand Prix here in Bahrain. And it's Ash Barker, Gunners, and Turbo Snell. Turbo Snell with his son in the chat for a bit of a push and confidence here today, maybe, and hopefully he can do well here and maybe try and hold that podium that he's got currently so far. Right then, everybody, safety car to come in at the end of this lap just here then, and it is lap 9 out of 29, going on to lap 20, am I stupid? Lap 10 out of 29, which will leave us with 19 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, Ash Barker to lead them away. It's about time to go racing again then here in Bahrain for the second time this weekend. It'll be Ash, Gunners, Turbo Snail, everybody now going down the straight. It's 3 abreast already, nearly. Going down into turn 1, cutting underneath is K1 then, trying to get through, trying to get 3 of them past Turbo Snail, who I don't think we'll be having none of it then at the moment. He is now trying to fight him back again, but it is K1 that just gets through again, and taking P3 at the very start, overtaken by K1. Turbo Snail is trying to fight back, looking for the move down the inside. Is he brave enough? No, he's not. He stays back, and he can't get the move done just yet, but Gazelle and Sexy is back. 8 and 9 for them at the moment, and them two having a battle. It is the Aston Martin behind as well, who's trying to get through past Corey. It's Corrigan doing his best for the move, and we see down the inside. That is what you call a move. Absolutely lovely. And he overtakes a Ferrari to take P10 then, as Dan and Kieran having a battle as well on lap 10 out of 29. The Gunners is doing well to hold on to the backside of Ash, probably because he's on the soft compound tyres, but we'll have to see how that works out for him then in today's Grand Prix. Here's Gunners then, gaining on Ash Barker. The gap is 0.2 of a second. And oh my god, we might see a move pretty soon then between these two. The softs haven't got as much tyre life as the hards, but we should see a good move pretty soon, hopefully. And that move is now then Gunners down the inside of Mr. Ash Barker. And he overtakes him through there. And what a move that was. And over the first sector line. And it is Gunners taking the lead of the Grand Prix. James, the only guy out of today's race then at this moment in time. But up ahead it's Jeff and Norton, Turbo Snail then, and we'll see if we can get a move between these two pretty soon. Turbo, who started the Grand Prix restart then in P3, dropping down to P5, not having the best start that he wanted to really, but we'll see if he can try and make a comeback in the next few laps time. It is going round now to start lap 12 out of 29. These laps are dropping like flies, like I mentioned earlier. They really, really are. And Gunners, quickest on track at the moment then. He is past Ash Barker, past everybody. And DRS is now enabled once again. Jeff Inough's gaining on Turbo Snail, but Turbo is just fast enough to stay ahead down the straight. K1 and Mezzanator having a battle as Mezzanator stays ahead for now. K1 trying to get through, but at the moment nothing's coming out of it. No moves going on between them at the moment, but these two are having a bit of a scrap. Gazelle and Corey Clover, as Corey might see a move down the inside here. No, he stays back. I thought we might have seen one there as Corey locks up a bit going, sorry, Gazelle looking like he locks up a bit through there, and maybe Corey could have tried to have got through, but he has to stay back on this time around. Now, going on to lap 13 out of 29, it is now Ash Barker overtaking the race leader to become the race leader once again, past Gunners. K1 and Mezzanator, P3 and P4 at the moment, and K1 just overtaking Mezzanator to take P3 in this Grand Prix. It is Dan and Peninsula at the moment, P12 and P13. Still having a scrap on the 13th lap out of 29. There's now P14, sorry, lap 14 out of 29, and it is Dan and Peninsula having a scrap, sorry, and taking P12 quite easily is Dan, and also taking the lead in this Grand Prix once again is Mr. Gunners 27 on Ash Barker 17. What a lovely move, and overtaking Ash Barker on that lap around just there. It is now lap 14 out of 29. We're about halfway into today's race. Right, as we head on the main straight now, Gunners will make it lap 15 out of 29. We are into halfway in this race now. And is Ash Barker capable of taking the lead in this Grand Prix again? Yes, he is then. Ash Barker 17 to regain the lead in this Grand Prix. Mezzanator on K1 as well, switching back down the inside. But Mezzanator is just a bit too quick for him. Just there, and he's ahead and taking P3 on lap 15. Coming out ahead on that corner is Corrigan to take P11, and up ahead as well. K1 and Mesonator still scrapping away. Mesonator with a better line through there, and he managed to stay ahead and take P3 in this Grand Prix so far. Schultz earlier on picked up a 3-second time penalty then, and as we look to the front of the Grand Prix once again, it is Ash Barker, the man leading this race from Gunners in second. I do apologise that the commentary is not really on point at the moment. My voice is killing me, but I'm going to try and hold on to the end of the race because I'm not going to ditch you. I'll do my very best to hold on, but it is really hurting, so I'm just going to do what I can. And up ahead, it is Jeff Inort on K1. Chris with a 3-second time penalty as well. We've seen a few penalties today. Schultz, Corrigan, Gazelle, Chris now, the new one with a penalty as well. As down the straight in the background, you can see what's going on with the Mercedes of Peninsula, getting through past Corrigan. For now, is he ahead though? Is Corrigan going back around the outside, trying to fight him back, and Corrigan just did fight him back enough to get back ahead and through to take P12. Now Peninsula gaining on Corrigan. Corrigan moving about then up ahead on the road up ahead, and maybe we see a Peninsula move on him soon. There's about 13 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It is very much possible as we see Braun locking up quite a lot through there. And this is probably where Gunner's soft compound tyres start to drop off just a little bit, because Ash Barker got back through and has now pulled away nearly a second. Can he make it a second, sorry, into the final few corners? Very nearly. It is 9/10 and getting that way. But as we go around the final few corners then and onto the main straight, is Gunners even standing a chance to overtake? Not after that move there, as he nearly loses it on the end around the final corner. And Ash Barker, nearly a second down the road. This is what he wants then, isn't it? Down the main straight, and this is exactly what he wants to try and win this Grand Prix here today. K1 with a lovely looking move down the inside, but he has to stay back for now. Oh, around the outside, K1 on Mesonator. Mesonator fighting back. It is pushing each other off the track round here at the moment. And Mesonator comes out ahead to take P3, K1 P4. And oh my god, what a lovely move that was earlier on. Now lap 18 out of 29, and we still have battles going on around the track. It's actually surprising how long these battles have gone on for. It's very nice to see. And into turn 1 we go. Ash Barker still leading from Gunners, and the gap is now half a second. It has come down just a bit, but not enough really to make an overtake happen. Whoa, going round. It is Schultz, P11 then, on this lap around, and coming back onto the track then in P15. Just literally just caught that on camera. Very, very lucky. And now Kieran trying to fight him down the inside, and he'll easily get that one because he's got all the marbles on his top. Oh, okay, never mind. Schultz with a lovely, lovely late break in there. And my favourite part about this race today, and sorry, the whole Friday, is probably my jinx that I did on. I think it was a Gazelle earlier on. Proper jinx that was, and I'm going to clip that later on. As we go back onto the main straight now, once again, and this one will make it. 10 laps to go as Gunners decides to pit with them soft compound tyres on. And now it is finally 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. K1 taking a 3-second time to down in this race. It is Chris down at the back in P17. James Stewart, the only driver still out of this race. We've got 10 laps to go, which means 7 laps available for a safety car in that window. We'll have to see if we get one in the final stage of this Grand Prix. Ash Barker locking up down there into the old pit straight, I must say. Back down to the back, we see Schultz and Kieran and Gunners all together at the moment. These guys having all this scrap, and also these guys up ahead as well. Corrigan, Braun, Peninsula, the same guys as earlier, having that scrap that they've been waiting for. Also, I do want to say, whereabouts is the man? Turbo Snow down in P16. Did he pit? He must have pitted. Yeah, he's on the hard compound tyres. He must have pitted. Which is explaining why he's down at the back. Lap 20 out of 29 then, 9 laps to go. Corrigan and Braun having a scrap. This is a lovely battle, nearly 3 abreast into this corner. It is 3 abreast into this corner, and coming out ahead is the Mercedes then, as the 2 Mercedes powered engines going through that corner, and the Aston Martin just comes out ahead and taking P5 then on that lap around just there. But back down to the back then, it is Chris getting past the rest of the drivers of Kieran and Schultz, who went into the pit lane. Schultz' teammate not in the race at the moment and will not be coming back for today's race. But these guys having a battle still, Turbo Snell and Corey Clover. Dark with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane then at the moment. As now we see Gunners go down the main straight. He's on the new medium compound tyres, which will take him to the end of this race here today. As Peninsula takes P3, it is down in P2. And of course, Ash Barker 14 seconds ahead, leading the Grand Prix. Typical Ash Barker, isn't it? It really is. Lap 21 out of 29. Ash Barker into the pit lane, everybody. On the hard compound tyres. He's gained enough time to get a decent pit stop in now. It's 14 seconds down the road. Is Dan. And Dan follows him in as well. On the hards. As he just misses Gunners, just misses Peninsula. And Ash Barker coming out the pit lane. It will be on the soft compound tyres, won't it? Yes, it will. He's going to be absolutely rapid. Then somebody might as well put rockets on his on the back of his car at this point. Go for the move then on Peninsula is Ash Barker, and taking P2 quite rightfully then here in the Grand Prix. He is making those positions back up to take what is his back at the top of the timing boards, and the back of the back? Definitely not the back for Ash Barker. The top of the leaderboard here today. And now, with the 23rd lap that starts here out of 29, we have 6 racing laps to go then. And 3 laps of a safety car possibility, as we do see Mezzanette to get through past Sexy there. And Mezzanette taking P7 on this lap around. He's got Corey Clover in his sights ahead, and he is next on his hit list to try and overtake when he can even go ahead and do that. K1 trying to overtake Peninsula at the moment, right behind him on the it's the Red Bull against the Mercedes actually, and K1 maybe with a rambunctious move down the inside, but he doesn't, and it is Mercedes wide on the outside. Can K1 find a line to go around the outside and pick a move up? Yes, he can, and taking P3 then on that lap around. That is lovely stuff, and taking P3 just there. But Ash Barker's sitting quite pretty, to be fair. He's got 6 laps to go to the end of the Grand Prix. He's got no penalties. He's got to find Gunners with the gap of 1.9 seconds, 1.8. It is rapidly dropping. Now nearly 1.7 if you can get down to it. Ash Barker, quickest on track then here at the moment, and ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of this Grand Prix. Let me tell you that now. We are very, very close to the end of the race here today. It is lap 24 out of 29, counting down the laps now nearly at the end, and it is Corey on the backside of Mezzanator. Mezzanator just a bit too quick for him at the moment. Sexy into the pit lane then, with Braun just overtaking him in the Red Bull, even going past him down the straight. But Ash Barker is still in second, and let me tell you something, he is now 7 tenths between him and first position. He is gunning down for Gunners in this race. He really has gunned him down, because look at that, the gap is now half a second, not even pun intended there. He is right behind him, and Ash Barker is looking for that move to take the lead of this Grand Prix then. Lap 24 out of 29, going on to lap 25 pretty soon. And Ash Barker 17 is going for Gunners. Maybe down into the final few corners he can even get it. He is looking very, very quick on pace at the moment. quicker than ever on these soft compound tyres. And it's now Ash heading down the main straight with Gunners ahead of him. He will now get the rear wing wide open, and he's right behind Gunners, pulling to the inside and passing him with ease. Gunners is a sitting duck in that situation and cannot do anything about it at all. Ash Barker takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix then on the 25th lap by the 29, and his safety car worked out quite well. Chris with a 3-second time limit to them for multiple warnings today, and it is Sexy and Chris then, both the McLarens down in 16 and 17 here today. Peninsula and Corey Clover having a battle at the back as well. And Corey getting a bit edgy then, trying to overtake Peninsula on this lap around. He's right behind him and pushing as hard as he can. Corey Clover looking for that overtake, looking for any gap that he can just put his car down the inside and say, hey, that is mine, and overtake him as quick as possible. It is Corey pushing as hard as he can now, going on to lap 26 out of 29. And Corey with a lovely exit out of that corner. It is the hard compound tyres against the other hard compound tyres. And Corey overtakes to take P6. Jeffrey Norton K1 having a battle. Jeffrey Norton with the switch back underneath him. Now trying to stick it around the outside into the next few corners, and he's not enough for him. And K1 with a better exit for now with the DRS as well. But look at Jeffrey Norton managing to just stay behind and not really drop back as much. But Ash Barker obviously the man leading now, and leading by 1.8 seconds. Now Ash across the line to start lap 27 out of 29 as we go back to battles behind that may be forming. It is Mezzaneta, Jeff and Ort, K1 as well. All heading down the main straight. Behind that, Dan overtaking Peninsula on lap 27 now, and 2P7 for Dan. Behind that as well, Turbo Snail. Turbo on the back of that car, pushing that Alpine through to take P8 and overtaking Peninsula in P9. Jeff Norton getting through past K1 once again, and it is battling side by side. Jeff Norton's got his teammate there to back him up as well, but at the moment they can't really do much because K1 is just quicker than both of them and he's ahead to P3. Sexy out of today's race in the pit lane, but even if it was a crash into the wall, it wouldn't even mean anything because safety car can't come out anymore with only 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Jeffrey Norton K1 still going at it. It is battling to the end of this Grand Prix as Chris coming out of the pit lane now. Never mind overtaking his teammate in this Grand Prix with only a few laps to go now, and we see Ash Barker head round the final few corners, and he heads up towards the line now to make it lap 28 and the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, everybody. Oh, Mezzinator out of the session. What has happened then? Big tangle down the straight, and Mezzinator is out of this Grand Prix. The racing continues then on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix here today, but Mezzinator is out of the race. Crashing out down the main straight. And that is the end of the race for the AlphaTauri. His teammate continues on in P6. Jeff and Orton Turbo, these two having a scrap still towards the end of this race on the penultimate lap. Ash Barker heading towards the end of the second sector, and pretty much not too far off the road from Chris as well, to be fair. But anyway, there's only one lap left, which doesn't really matter anymore then, because Turbo Snail has got Jeff in order ahead. Dan has got K1 ahead of him. And as Mr. Ash Barker now heads down the back straight of this Bahrain Grand Prix racing circuit, he will head around the final corner pretty soon. And once he gets there, Ash Barker 17 will make it the final lap of today's Grand Prix. Dan pushing on K1 then towards the end of this race. K1 with a wide exit out of that turn to try and open it up for the next one now, as we are on the final lap of this Grand Prix, and Ash Barker is in the money here today. Then 4.8 seconds between him and Gunners in second position, and Dan has got K1 still ahead of him as they head down the main straight. And now I do think Dan might be able to get through. He is flashing, K1 is, from the back, and Dan going for that overtake down the inside, and he is through to P4 for now. Can the Red Bull try and fight back past him? No, he cannot. And on the final lap of today's race, that is the end of that battle. As now, we might as well just go and spectate the race leader and soon to be the race winner. 5 tenths. It is 5 seconds between Gunners and Ash Barker then in this Grand Prix. As Mr. Ash heads over the second sector and now into the final sector of this lap and the final sector of this weekend in Grand Prix here today. He heads around now towards the final corner. It is Ash Barker, who once again, no doubt, has led a brilliant race. Quite literally led it for the whole race, because now he crosses the line to take the win then here in Bahrain from Gunners, who crosses just after 5 seconds down the road. Then it'll be Corey Clover 11 seconds down the road, and Corey, after fighting a brilliant race, is on for the podium here today, taking P3. And it's a podium finish for one of the Ferraris, the second one just missing out on the podium. K1, P5, P6 then, with P8 now. Oh my god, that is poor. It is Jetfidel taking P5, Turbo P6, Peninsula taking P7. It is K1 8, Braun 9, the two Red Bulls 8 and 9, Gazelle 10, Corrigan 11. It is Dark 12, Kieran will be taking 13 then, followed by Schultz and then Chris, who is incredibly far behind, and now I've got to wait for him to finish his lap. And that's it for you Grand Prix, everybody. Next up, podium celebrations. Here we are then, everybody. Finished results then for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It is Ash Barker, once again, shocker, definitely big shocker, to win the Grand Prix here today then, with a lovely, lovely finish here. And it is Gunners taking second, with Corey the last spot on the podium. The second Ferrari of Dan narrowly missing out on that podium then in P4. Jeffrey taking P5, Turbo taking P6, Peninsula in 7, K1 8, Braun 9, and Gazelle to round off the top 10. So everybody, thank you very, very much for joining me, and I'll be back on Sunday for commentary, but I'll also be back, obviously, for the over 28s next Friday. See you then. Good night.